talking about a home. Talking about me and you. Things we'll do. I said a home. Talking about a home. Not talking about a one-night stand. I wanna be your man. I said a home.
From the people who bring you Charleston Home and Design Magazine, the Charleston Home and Design Show, the Custom Home and Remodel Show, and Charleston's online home show, newhomecharleston.com, this is Talking About a Home. Talking About a Home is a home show on the radio, featuring interviews with local experts, home tips, trends, and ideas you need to know to make your home better. I'm Michael Blaze with 5 Star Real Estate, and this is Talking About a Home.
Good afternoon. I'm Tim Barkley with Charleston Home and Design Magazine, and I want to thank you for listening to Talking About a home show on the radio. In addition to our radio show Talking About a Home, we also publish Charleston Home and Design Magazine, winner of the American Society of Interior Designers Excellence in Design Media Award, and also the American Institute of Architects Charleston Chapter's Honor Award for Journalism. You may also be familiar with the 3 custom home shows we organize: the Charleston Home and Design Show, which takes place every January, Charleston's only open-air home show, which takes place every April at Family Circle Stadium on Daniel Island, and the Custom Home and Remodel Show and Hurricane Expo, which is coming up August 16th through the 18th at the Citadel's Johnson Haygood Stadium. Well, today we've got a good show for you coming up. Today's radio show is coming to you from Advanced Window Fashions, and Advanced Window Fashions is one of the sponsors of the Custom Home and Remodel Show, and we're visiting all the different sponsor locations, sponsors of the Custom Home and Remodel Show over the next few weeks as we lead up to the Custom Home and Remodel Show, August 16th through the 18th. So we'll be talking to Larry McRae with Advanced Window Fashions, also Brian Hopkins with EcoFoam Insulations and Coatings, also Chuck Altschul with Low Country Hurricane Protection, custom builder Donnie Smith with J.D. Smith Custom Homes, and also you're going to hear the audio from a video that is in Charleston, the latest issue of Charleston Home and Design Magazine. There's a story in the summer issue of Charleston Home and Design Magazine about a project that Charleston Landscapes was involved with, and you're going to be listening to the audio from that video. So you might, after reading the story in Charleston Home and Design Magazine, you'll find a QR code, a little barcode, and you could take out your smartphone and scan that and watch a video that's associated with that story. And that's what you're going to be hearing today, is the audio from that video. So if you'd like to watch the video, you can pick up the brand new issue of Charleston Home and Design Magazine. It's got a photo of Brad Van Loo on the cover, and or you could also go to our newly designed website, charlestonhomeanddesign.com, charlestonhomeanddesign.com, and watch that video as well. But I did want to take a couple of moments and tell you about the couple of the special features we've got coming up with the Custom Home and Remodel Show. I don't know if you watch Barbecue Pitmasters on Destination America, the Destination America channel on cable. Really good show and very popular. It really kind of gets into the background of what it takes to be a competitive barbecue griller, and last year at the Custom Home and Remodel Show, we had one of the finalists from Barbecue Pitmasters who made an appearance at the Custom Home and Remodel Show, and we're very fortunate to have another contestant from this year, the 2013 Season 4 version of Barbecue Pitmasters. His name is Jack Waybor, and he has a cooking school here in the Charleston area called Carolina Pitmasters Cooking School, and he's going to be doing free grilling demonstrations all weekend long at the Custom Home and Remodel Show. Well, have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you next week. Good afternoon. Today's radio show is coming to you from Advanced Window Fashions, located at 502 Wando Park Boulevard in Mount Pleasant, and we're continuing our tour of some of the sponsors of the Custom Home and Remodel Show, which is coming up August 16th through the 18th at the Citadel's Johnson Haygood Stadium. And we're very, very proud to have Advanced Window Fashions as one of the sponsors of the Custom Home and Remodel Show, along with Meltzer Tile, Amerisips Homes, 84 Lumber, Real Deal Countertops, Energy One America, and Outdoor Concepts by the Renovators. And now we're talking with Larry McCray with Advanced Window Fashions. How you doing, Larry?
Doing great, Tim. How are you today?
Doing good. Larry, first of all, thank you for hosting today's radio show and also being a sponsor, Advanced Window Fashion being a sponsor of the Custom Home and Remodel Show.
Happy to do it, Tim.
Good deal. Well, Larry, let's take a moment and have you tell everybody about Advanced Window Fashions.
All right. Advanced Window Fashions, we are a Hunter Douglas gallery store, which means that we are basically an affinity of Hunter Douglas. We have full-size displays that you can come in and see the different operating systems, to see, touch, and feel the fabric, find out how they operate. We try to educate you on what type of treatment would best suit your needs, and then kind of narrow it down and give you some choices and try to hopefully make you walk out being happy.
Good deal. Well, and a lot of companies say that they sell Hunter Douglas products, but Advanced Window Fashions, you folks have achieved a higher status than the average window treatment company out there selling Hunter Douglas products, being a Hunter Douglas gallery dealer. Can you what does that mean?
Well, we're actually a Centurion gallery. A gallery is a concept that you buy into with Hunter Douglas, meaning that you get their display system. But you have to go through a specific amount of training in order to maintain that status. But when you're a Centurion gallery, you've made the 100% commitment to just sell Hunter Douglas products. You basically become a Hunter Douglas specialist. We happen to be a Hunter Douglas dealer service center, which means we service a lot of Hunter Douglas products right here in our showroom.
Mm-hmm.
So we keep a lot of the parts on hand in case anything happens. Everyone who works here has actually gone through the professional dealer program, so we're very familiar with Hunter Douglas products. And our installers, we have the only master installer and the master hardwire specialist here. So if you're planning any projects where you want to integrate treatments with home automation systems and so forth, we can help you with that.
Well, what makes Hunter Douglas so unique or such a leader? There are other companies that are selling window treatments, national companies. What is it about Hunter Douglas that sets them apart?
Well, it's the amount of time and money that they put into research and development for creating new products and new operating systems, and their warranty. They really stand behind what they sell. I mean, you've heard the old adage, price is what you pay, value is what you get. I mean, it's the difference of why people would buy a lower end car versus buying a Mercedes. I mean, you know that you're going to be able to feel that quality and not have it fade out after a few years. Plus, the company itself generally stands behind what they do sell in a better way than what a more economical company would be able to.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. So when homeowners are looking into buying some window treatments, and they get maybe a cheaper quote than a Hunter Douglas product, how do you handle that kind of thing when you're talking to the homeowner?
Well, we generally ask people to be sure that they're comparing apples to apples. We ask how long you're planning on being in the home. If you're only planning on being in it 2 or 3 years, the cheaper option may be a valid choice for you. But if you're planning on being in your home 5, 7, or with a lot of folks now, we're getting that this is going to be their final home. And this window treatments is not something you want to be buying multiple times. I mean, we've had treatments that have come into our showroom that have been 12, 13 years old. If Hunter Douglas can't repair them, or if, let's just say, the actual system that they'd been using before is obsolete, they will send it back and they will be able to upgrade it to a new system using your original fabric. Also, if the fabric ever fails, we send it back to Hunter Douglas and they're able to actually remake your treatment. So we've had several instances like that in which Hunter has just been unbelievable, would stand behind their warranty. We also, for your new purchases, we offer what we call the right choice promise, where if you order something and you just don't like it, we ask you to just keep it in your home for 21 days, and over the next 21 days, you'll have the opportunity to swap it out for a product of equal or lesser value, or if it's greater value, you pay the difference, and there's just a small fee for that program.
Very good, very good. Well, I've bought some window treatments over the years, like for apartments, and tried to go the cheap route. And after maybe a year or so, the window treatments are falling apart. They're not standing up. So I don't know. I guess my feeling today is buy a product that a company like Advanced Window Fashions is going to stand by, and then if there is a problem, and problems do occur, no matter what the product is, you're going to be able to go back to a local company like Advanced Window Fashion, and you folks are going to take care of it.
And that's another big misconception people have if they have rental properties, is they want to just say, well, we'll just buy something inexpensive, put it in there, and swap it out. Well, more of our customers are finding more value in buying a better entry-level type Hunter Douglas product, and instead of throwing it out and having to buy it all over again, they're actually able to get it repaired. I mean, we have several of the higher-end rentals that we have Hunter Douglas products in and perform maintenance on them on a regular basis.
Gotcha. Well, let's talk about some specific products. Motorized shades are becoming really, really big. Tell our listeners about that a little bit.
A lot of folks are starting to like to push a button, or now you can even play with your iPad, your iPod, your iPhone, and have your battery motorized shades operating through those systems. Right now we have the opportunity where we're through September 2nd, I believe it is, we're going to be giving away a free bridge kit that connects to your in-home router, and with the purchase of any two Powerized shades, Powerized being battery operated, that kit's normally like a $375 value. You can download the app for free from iTunes, and we can have you up and running, operating your shades off your iPhone, your iPad, your iPod, your iDevice, I like to say, within minutes.
Good deal. That's excellent. And the other issue I wanted to talk to you about today is with summertime here, people are paying higher energy bills because they're running the air conditioning. How can window treatments help save homeowners money on their energy costs?
Well, one of the more popular treatments in the summertime, we like to joke sometimes that when the temperature goes up, our phone bill goes up because it starts ringing like crazy. Everyone wants to get away from the heat. Our Duet product, we actually have a Duet product now where if it was 140 degrees, because you can get that extreme heat when the sun is blaring in your window. Most folks don't realize that. They'll just say, well, it's 90-some degrees outside. It's 90 degrees in my window. But with the reflection going through the glass, you can get intense temperatures like that in your window area. But we have, with the Duet shadings, you're able to actually take that temperature from 140 degrees and drop it all the way down with one product to 94 degrees and another product to 84 degrees. And that also not only helps keep the hot air out, but it helps keep the cool air in.
Gotcha. So would that be a product, a window treatment product that is the only type that will help homeowners save on their energy costs, or do you have any other options?
Oh no, there's a variety of different products that we have. The Duet just happens to be the best as far as energy conservation. Most folks don't realize that most energy escapes through your home, through your windows, regardless of what type of window that you have in your window, because it is the part that is the least insulated.
Gotcha. What other hot products is our Advanced Window Fashion selling these days? What's big in demand for window treatments?
Our biggest product is our Silhouette window shading, which is a dual-sided sheer that has a cloth vein in between it, where you can actually manipulate the light. It comes in like a translucent or a light filtering, or should I say light dimming option, to where if you wanted to put it in your bedroom, it gives you like a dusk effect.
Can you kind of paint a picture for what that looks like?
Well, imagine two pieces of a sheer.
Okay.
Okay, and a cloth vane in between it, 3 different sizes, 2-inch, 3-inch, 4-inch. And when you have it rotated open, you're actually able to see through the shear.
Gotcha.
Okay, you can see out better than folks can see in because it has an anti-moire quality. So you're able to get a clearer view looking out than what folks can look in. And then when you either push the button or pull a cord, whichever your choice may be, the vanes actually collapse and fall on top of each other, similar to what a blind does. And you get your privacy if you have one of the light dimming ones, or if you have one of the more translucent ones. If you get real close to it, you can kind of see your silhouette in the window if the light is on and let's say it's nighttime. And hence that's how I got the name Silhouette.
Gotcha. How long have you been in the window treatment business?
I've been in the window treatment business since the 00s, 2000.
Wow.
So
You really know your stuff for sure. And you know, some of the terms that you're throwing out are very familiar to you, but they may not be to our listeners. And I encourage everyone to come to Advanced Window Fashion. The nice thing about Advanced Window Fashions is you have a showroom where people can come in and you can physically show them all of the different products that you're describing right now.
Exactly, Tim. And we actually take pride on educating people about not only the different products, but the different considerations that they need to have when selecting a window treatment concerning what direction does your window face, what's your usage, and how many times you plan on raising and lowering, and basically just trying to find a treatment that's going to fit your budget and your lifestyle.
Good deal. Well, tell everybody where Advanced Window Fashions is located.
We're located at 502 Wando Park Boulevard, Suite 105, and that is right off I-526 and Long Point Road.
All right, good deal. Well, we have been talking with Larry McCray with Advanced Window Fashions, one of the sponsors of the Custom Home and Remodel Show coming up August 16th through the 18th. Thanks so much, Larry.
Thank you, Tim.
If you're just joining us, I'm Tim Barkley with Charleston Home and Design Magazine, and today's radio show is coming to you from Advanced Window Fashions, located at 502 Wando Park Boulevard in Mount Pleasant. And now we're talking with Brian Hopkins with EcoFoam Insulations and Coatings. How you doing, Brian?
Good. How are you?
Good. Brian, tell everybody about EcoFoam Insulations and Coatings.
EcoFoam Insulations and Coatings is a spray foam applicating company. Also, when you install fiberglass battens in combination with the spray foam in some situations when there's not a complete foam envelope. So we offer, spray foam insulation, open and closed, and fiberglass insulation as well.
Gotcha. So EcoFoam insulation and coatings, you folks help homeowners insulate their homes, and and you use primarily spray foam insulation?
Yes, sir. Yeah, our main specialty is the spray foam application. Typically in retrofits, especially around here, we tend to have those in the roof lines. Some conditioned crawl spaces. So mostly in retrofit homes, existing homes, it's in your roof and in the floor.
Gotcha. Those are the top two places that you can help homeowners save money.
Those are the big ones. You got to think in Charleston's climate, your large black, dark colored roof is nothing but a heat magnet. So the foam comes in, we condition that. So it should be your attic space should be within 10 degrees of your living space.
What do you say to a homeowner that has an existing home? They already have insulation in their house, so why do they need EcoFoam?
Foam insulation carries its R value, keeps its R value longer. Also, the way it's insulated is different than traditional. When you have a traditional home where you've got blown or fiberglass insulation in your ceiling joist, that's only conditioning that space. So when you've got your trunk lines for your ductwork and your HVAC system in your attic, and you also have the pounding heat coming down on your shingles, metal roof, what be it, in your sheathing, your attic turns into an oven. Therefore, the ceiling joist insulation is battling that heat, keeping it from the inside of your home. When you spray foam, that adheres to the rafters and into the sheathing, therefore conditioning that space to your home. Therefore, I use the summer water hose effect. If your ductwork is like a hose outside in the summer, run cold water through it. It takes a while before it gets cold because it's heated. Conditioning with your rafters with spray foam, that will keep the strain off of your unit, making your unit run less, conditioning those areas within 10 degrees of your interior of your home.
And some ductwork will sweat
Yes.
in an attic that maybe has regular insulation. It's the entire attic is not insulated,
Right.
and then the water droplets get mixed in with the insulation, and what happens then?
Well, I mean, just just like it looks, it's gonna, you could come up with a leak. B, when that insulation that's using, its air, for its R value and its insulating properties, it's going to diminish that. As it gets wet, it's not supposed to be wet.
What about mold and mildew?
You could also, absolutely. I mean, you've got a little, incubator there with that situation. You're going to get mold, you're going to get mildew, especially, like I said, in our climate. Of course you're going to get it.
Right. It's going to be a science project up in your attic.
Exactly.
So, so if you have an existing home, EcoFoam insulation, you folks would recommend coming into the house, and you'll go up to the attic area, and then you're going to spray foam the roof sheathing,
Yes, sir.
and more or less the ceiling of your attic, if you were looking at it that way.
Yes.
And then after EcoFoam puts that insulation in, somebody goes up into their attic, is it still going to be really hot up there?
No. The point of creating an envelope is to bring it your rafters to the top plate of your wall and tie that in. The old way of doing an attic was to let it breathe, therefore circulating the air in and out.
And then and a ridge vent too,
And
right?
ridge
to
vents,
let that hot
exactly.
air out.
So you're just, you're pumping hot air in, hot air out, kind of deal. This seals it off. This allows it to condition down to, like I said, not to repeat myself, but within 10 degrees of your living space, because it's now encapsulated.
Gotcha.
That's just where we've advanced to,
And then, I'm sure we have listeners that are thinking, but what about the walls of my house? Are they going to ask me to tear off the siding or tear into the sheetrock in order to put that spray foam in?
No, sir. No, we're gonna focus in on the roof. If you have some mold and mildew issues, we'll focus in on your condition crawl as well to control those. But on your roof line, no, there's going to be no need to tear in any walls. That the way that tradition, where the way framing works is the rafter will run to the top plate, and that's where we're going to take it to, and we're going to lock it in right there.
So it's not going to be much of an inconvenience for a homeowner to have EcoFoam come in and put some additional spray foam insulation in a house, because you're either going to be underneath the house in the crawl space, which a homeowner doesn't go unless there's a problem, and then up in the attic, and you're not going to be in the living spaces of the house.
No, I mean, and when we come through, of course, with any kind of hoses and stuff we have to run, we'll clean it, put paper down and keep it clean, up there, and it's pretty, it's not a real evasive process. It's pretty simple.
How long is it like you'll be there for about a day, or
About a day.
About a day?
Mhm.
Okay. That's pretty
We
good.
also a lot of times will remove the existing and then haul that off, the existing blown insulation or fiberglass.
Because it's not needed anymore?
It's not needed anymore. So all it's going to do is break down and create dust. That's another great thing about foam. It doesn't break down. It doesn't, as it loses its insulating properties, it doesn't turn to dust, which winds up in your house.
Do most people choose open cell spray foam insulation or closed cell spray foam insulation? What's the difference?
I tell you, it's when it comes to like our builders, some go with closed cell, other go with open. They're both great products. One thing I can say is, in a roof line situation, closed cell has been proven, through testing in Florida and so forth, that it creates a lot of uplift and racking strength structurally. So a lot of some of our clients, they are on the water, have a really high house where it gets a lot of wind, and of course we're in a hurricane zone. They like that added strength in their build. So they're both great products. Closed cell is much more dense, therefore that's where it gets its racking and uplift strength. And open cell is just a great. It's cheaper, of course, and open cell gives you the good, all the insulating properties you need.
I've heard that open cell has better soundproofing. Is that right? Or
Yeah, that's another. Will say one guy will say yes, one will say no. So we really go back and forth with that. They both do pretty well with soundproofing. It's guys. I was in a meeting and a guy has closed cell in his studio room. So he preferred closed cell. Closed cell has its insulating properties with gas pockets, where open cells have the air pockets. So it's really sometimes it's a matter of budget and a matter of preference. Yeah.
Gotcha. And living in an area that's prone to hurricanes like Charleston, that's kind of just like an added a 2-for-1. It's a free bonus, that the fact that EcoFoam can come in and insulate your attic. You're spraying that closed cell spray foam insulation on the attic roof sheathing, and that's acting as a glue. It's gluing your roof to the rafters, and if we do have a hurricane, the last thing you want to do is lose your roof, because then all the water is gonna. I mean, if you keep your roof on, there's a good chance that your house will your contents of your house will stay intact.
Absolutely, and that's what it does create. Where it holds the hold down. Which is the uplift strength, and also the racking, because it's so dense between each rafter. So when it's like a shearing side to side motion, it also is strong there. So it definitely strengthens the cavity a lot.
That's good. Well, what's the time frame involved? Somebody calls EcoFoam and wants to meet with you to get some spray foam insulation. How long will it take for them to? Can you save them some money this summer?
Yeah, absolutely. We try to turn all of our numbers back to them. We'll come out, measure the house. After measuring, we'll have a bid to them within 48 hours.
And when they look at their power bill compared to that month last year, what kind of savings should they expect?
It's all we know. All it can save. Spray foam can save up to 30-50%. They're going to see savings. That's given due to the product.
So it's going to help pay for itself.
It's going to help with knock down some of those high energy rates.
Right. And what about, are there any kind of rebates through the power company, or any tax incentives?
There are some rebates, and we have literature on that. So when we'll sit down when we meet and can show them all their options, and what.
So that'll help lower the price that EcoFoam is charging also.
Absolutely. And I mean, there are some, I'm not sure, I guess it depends on your carrier. Sometimes there's insurance benefits with the closed cell in your roof. So
all right, good deal. Well, tell everybody how they can get in touch with EcoFoam insulations and coatings.
We can be reached. Best way to reach is area code 843-694-1299.
All right, and web.
On the web, we are at EcoFoamInsulations, that's plural.com.
All right, terrific. Well, we've been talking with Brian Hopkins with EcoFoam Insulations and Coatings. Thanks, Brian.
Thank you.
If you're just joining us, I'm Tim Barkley with Charleston Home and Design Magazine, and today's radio show is coming to you from Advanced Window Fashions, located at 502 Wando Park Boulevard in Mount Pleasant. And Advanced Window Fashions is one of the sponsors of the Custom Home and Remodel Show, coming up August 16th through the 18th at the Citadel's Johnson Haygood Stadium, along with Melser Tile, Amerisips Homes, 84 Lumber, Real Deal Countertops, Energy One America, and Outdoor Concepts by the Renovators. And now we're talking with Chuck Altschul with Low Country Hurricane Protection. How you doing, Chuck?
Good, Tim. How are you doing?
Good. Chuck, tell everybody about Low Country Hurricane Protection.
Low Country Hurricane Protection is located off of Long Point Road in Mount Pleasant. We provide all kinds of hurricane protections, from fabric shield, aluminum and Lexan corrugated panels, accordion shutters, Bahamas, colonials, manual and electric roll downs.
All right. So Just about, or is that just about every possible
Right.
hurricane
It's
protection
a product line that really allows you to fit any budget that a homeowner or builder might require.
Mm-hmm. And let me ask you a question. What happens when we have a threat of a hurricane? What happens at Low Country Hurricane Protection?
Well, we do get a lot of calls. You know, people think the storms might hit on Friday, and we'll get a call on Tuesday. Can you come out and put up shutters? Unfortunately, it takes about 3 to 4 week lead time. Nothing is standard. Everything is built specifically for a particular opening. So it's best to do something now and in preparation for it.
What do you say to a homeowner who says, "I don't need to protect my house. If it blows down, I've got insurance."
It's interesting that you mention that, because we have a lot of new people that have moved to the Low Country and moved into a new house, and their builder gave them plywood in order to get a certificate of occupancy. And when we come out there and, they're a little surprised, gee, it's very expensive, so that's why I have insurance, so I really don't need your product. Well, I always ask them, I said, well, what's your deductible? And they'll say, oh, it's only $500. And I said, well, yeah, but that's for a fire. Take a look at your wind and hail portion of your insurance policy, and you find out that it's 5% of what the value of the policy is. So now it's a $20,000 deductible before anybody takes your phone call. Mm-hmm. And they're a little shocked, mm-hmm. because in Dayton, Ohio, it wasn't like that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Right. And so what happens if you do have plywood, and a hurricane is threatening? Who are you going to get to put it up? I mean, plywood is what do you have to have, half inch or 3/4 inch plywood?
It's right now it's half inch. Actually, as of July 1st, the code changed and it has to be 5/8, and it has to have special fasteners now in it and so on. But the existing homeowners that moved in and the builder gave them plywood, that plywood has to be on the home during a named storm. Because if there's any damage and that plywood's not on there, then they're going to have trouble filing a claim.
Mm. So it's not good enough to just tell your insurance company that, oh, yeah, I had the plywood up,
right,
but in fact it was stacked in the garage or something like
exactly.
that. Or maybe you made some shelves out of it a few years
right.
ago.
In fact, there's a Coastal Property Insurance Act that was passed back in 2007 that you actually get state income tax credits and discounts on your insurance premiums for protecting your house. But all the insurance companies will do that for products like that we provide, but you don't get any kind of tax credits or insurance premium discounts for having plywood.
Gotcha. Because plywood is so bulky, it's very difficult. You may even try to call somebody to put it up for you, but at the point when you're asking someone to come over and do it for your house, most people are evacuating, so it's hard to find somebody to do something like that.
That's correct. And going up and a 30-mile-an-hour wind carrying a 4x8 sheet of plywood is not the best conditions to do that.
No. Earlier I was talking to our host Larry McCrae about motorized shades and window treatments and how you just push a button and they open. And I was thinking, gosh, it's gotten to the point where it's too much trouble to just pull a cord to raise your window treatments. Now people expect to just push a button. People kind of expect the same thing with other products too, and talk about the ease of use of the easiest to use of the hurricane protection products that Low Country Hurricane Protection sells.
Well, we have two types of roll downs. One is a fabric shield roll down that we provide, and all you do is actually reach up and pull down a curtain, and then you have slide bolts, and it can be done both from the inside or outside, so it's actually perfect for second floor, third floor windows. It's limited by the width and the height that we can actually provide that kind of shutter. Once you exceed that, we also provide aluminum roll-down shutters that operate both manually and electrically. And when we do them electrically, we tie into a local outlet where that shutter is located, and we provide you with a remote. All the programming is done actually in the motor, so if you do have to change the batteries in the remote, it doesn't affect any of the programming. And we've done all total homes with roll downs, and within 5 to 10 minutes, 30 openings could be protected.
Very good. And what about like products like shutters, colonial shutters, for example, that beautify? Are the hurricane products that Low Country Hurricane Protection is selling? Are you only going to want to see them on your house, up, during a hurricane, or do you have decorative things that look decorative on the house and will enhance the look?
Well, we always tell people when we put, say, either our Bahamas or Colonials products on a house that are permanently installed on a house, it's almost like putting the eyebrows on a blank face. And we also, they come in a variety of colors, so it enhances the look of a home, aesthetically pleasing, as well as being practical in terms of protection for a hurricane. On upper floors, we can configure those particular shutters, either Colonials or Bahamas, to lock from the inside, so it eliminates the use of ladders, which can be very dangerous during a storm. And they also, having the hurricane-rated products, they qualify for South Carolina income tax credits as well as discounts on your insurance premiums. For example, you would on credits, you get 25% off or $1,000, whichever is less. You also get the sales tax, and there's an interesting provision of the Coastal Property Insurance Act, which allows for if your hurricane or if your insurance premiums exceed 5% of your adjusted gross income, you can deduct $1,250 a year, and if you exceed that, you can carry it forward for 5 years. Well, it's kind of interesting because we've done a lot of homes on Kewah, Seabrook, Isle of Palm, Sullivan's Island, and people are paying tens of thousands of dollars to get insurance. And we had one homeowner we did a quote for, and we explained to him the various tax credits in the quote, and he called me and he said, not only I'm going to go with your product, I'm also calling my accountant. I'm amending my tax return because I'm going to get $1,250 back.
Interesting.
So that provision you can actually qualify for without actually doing anything for your home.
Right. So, do you kind of hold the hand of the homeowner with regards to helping them with some of these tax credits and insurance premium discounts and things?
Right. When we complete a job, we actually give them a booklet that has digital photographs of the house. All the openings are numbered, so if they had the corrugated panels, for example, they know exactly where each panels go. We give them the residential retrofit tax credit form. We give them a letter for their insurance company that explaining that we've provided hurricane-rated products. In many cases, their insurance company will send us what they call a wind mitigation form, which has to be notarized with our building license number and so on. And some of the insurance companies are now asking for test reports. They're not just taking anybody's word for it anymore.
Right. And very quickly, kind of walk us through a scenario. We're talking about Low Country Hurricane Protection protecting the windows and the doors, the openings of a home.
That's correct.
If you have if your windows and doors are unprotected, you do not have hurricane protection on your house, what could happen during a hurricane?
Well,
what are you protecting from?
We're protecting the house so that, for example, they don't lose a roof. The most vulnerable parts of a home are the second floor windows, and without any protection on it, that glass is actually moving in and out, and so you hit a certain pressure, and the glass either gets sucked out or it implodes. And on a second floor, you have the wind coming from the outside trying to lift the roof off, and now you've an attic window or a dormer for a bedroom, and now that's compromised. So now you have two forces lifting that roof off, and that's how you lose the roof. And so the roof is gone or there's that damage in that window. Now you got water leaking down all those walls, and now the first floor is affected. So that's what we try to protect against. Tim, I had the opportunity back in February to attend a International Hurricane Protection Association conference, And one of the speakers was a structural engineer who had a company in Florida and was invited by the states of New Jersey and New York after Storm Sandy with his team to look at homes to determine whether or not they were still structurally sound or had to be demolished. And what they found was, what was really surprised him, the fact that a lot of people boarded up their homes with plywood. And you just take a little 1 penny nail and put it up. Well, what people don't realize, even though maybe the storm was maybe 71 miles an hour, it lasted for 16 hours. And what happened, just like I explained with the glass going in and out, that's the same thing what happened to the plywood. And when they went up to inspect these homes, they found the plywood lying on the ground, all these nails all over the place. The same thing happened to the plywood that happens to the glass. Without our products on the house, you won't have to worry about a situation like that.
Right. Not to mention your neighbor's grill who doesn't secure it down, and that becomes a flying projectile into your unprotected window, and then you've got that differential in the pressure, which is going to take your roof off.
That's right.
Well, tell everybody how they can get in touch with Low Country Hurricane Protection.
We're located at 488C La Mesa Road, which is right off of Long Point Road in Mount Pleasant, and our phone number is 822-5519, and our website is lowcountryshutters.com.
Okay, well, we've been talking with Chuck Altschul with Low Country Hurricane Protection. Thanks so much, Chuck.
Thank you, Tim.
If you're just joining us, I'm Tim Barkley with Charleston Home and Design Magazine, and today's radio show is coming to you from Advanced Window Fashions, located at 502 Wando Park Boulevard in Mount Pleasant, right off of Long Point Road. And we're very proud to have Advanced Window Fashions as one of the sponsors of the Custom Home and Remodel Show coming up August 16th through the 18th at the Citadel's Johnson Haygood Stadium. And now we're talking with Donnie Smith with J.D. Smith Custom Homes. How you doing, Donnie?
I'm doing fine, Tim.
Good, good. Donnie, tell everybody about J.D. Smith Custom Homes.
Well, let's see. There's really a lot to tell, but I guess I got such a short fuse to tell it all in. But we've been in business since 1988. We are very proud that we made it through the recession. Our business model is beginning to come back around, so we are beginning to build more custom homes. But remodeling really brought us through the recession because of the number of homes that we had built over the years. We had the privilege of going back and working with some of the previous owners or new owners, you know, and doing renovation work for them, which we thank all those people very, very, you know, it was a great, you know, thing for us, and we did them a good job.
Sure.
And we were able to glad that we were able to do that. But now the custom side of it is beginning to pick up tremendously, and naturally we're happy with that also, and because that's where we probably do our best work. And we have a very good base of clients that we refer to get referrals from some of our clients and so forth, and naturally through the real estate community too. And also people like yourself. I mean, I've had people that say, "Hey, I saw your article, you know, in your magazine, you know," which is very good. So we just hope that we can continue, you know, doing what we're doing.
Sure. I'm sure J.D. Smith Custom Homes will be around for many, many years. I think that's fantastic that you folks have been in business and operating since 1988.
That's correct.
And how many homes do you think you've built since 1988?
Oh gosh, I don't know. It's probably over 200 and something
Over
homes.
200, yeah. And you still have previous customers that call you when they want to get some renovations done and maybe update that house, or and you just mentioned to me before we started that you've got a previous customer. You built a house for them previously, and now they've come back and they want you to build another house for them.
That's correct, and it's on Daniel Island, which we've done quite a bit of work over there. Most of our work has been, as I refer to it, is east of the Cooper, and we'll include, you know, of course, Daniel Island was not part of that at that point in time. but this is kind of where we've always been doing most of our building.
Gotcha. You know, when it comes to choosing a builder, a lot of homeowners will kind of rush through that process or not really do their homework adequately, and it seems like to me, doing business with a company that's been around since 1988, that's a really good sign in itself.
We think so. I mean, that's one thing we are proud of, that we did survive, as we refer to it, the recession. And so we're proud of that we were able to pull it through. Yeah.
You know, and that old expression, all boats rise with the tide, now, just as we had in mid-2000s, some builders that maybe shouldn't have been in the business, they were building houses. A homeowner, a lot of times they've got that HGTV mentality where they just wish, in 30 minutes they could have their house built, and it's a process. It takes many months and lots of planning even before you break ground, and it's very important to do your homework to choose the right builder and not just rush into hiring someone who may not have the longevity as J.D. Smith Custom Homes does.
Well, I think there's a lot said there. It does take a lot of planning, and we try to help our clients, through that process. We even have recommendations for architects, let them, ones that we have worked with, and we refer them to, have them to interview them as they have interviewed us. And I think to our clientele, the base that we have there has been very helpful for us in getting the business, because I'd say every house that we have right now is a referral.
That says a lot. So it's someone who J.D. Smith Custom Homes has either built a house for or renovated their house, and a neighbor, a friend, a relative has come to them and said, who built your house, or who did the work on your house, and then they've been so impressed that they've gone ahead and called you to build their own home.
And that's true, and as I said earlier, along with some of the real estate agents that we've worked with over the years too, that's been a big help.
Right, and on the flip side of that, not to be negative, but I'm sure that there are builders who've gone out of business and who just really didn't do such a good job, and I bring that up just because it is possible to build a house and for a homeowner not to be completely satisfied with the outcome. The outcome, just because you're going to be spending all this money and you get your construction loan and everything, the outcome is not guaranteed on a house, and that's where it comes into, well, let me do some homework. Let me talk with this builder and that builder, and let's see how long they've been in business. And the fact that J.D. Smith Custom Homes has been in business since 1988, that's a very, very strong piece of the puzzle.
Well, we think so, and naturally we use that also in talking with our prospective clients and so forth. And we think that it's something to be proud of, and we are, and I think a lot of it too goes with the longevity of some of our people that work with us, and the same with some of our suppliers and also our subcontract team that we have, whether it's painting or flooring or roofing or whatever. A lot of those guys have been with us. Matter of fact, my heating and air guy has been with me since 1988. We've been doing business together since 1988, and which I think says a lot for him, and for us too. And because I know he'll stand behind something if it's broken,
right?
And we're the same way. I mean, we want to stand behind our product because we're proud of it.
Sure. Well, Donnie, J.D. Smith Custom Homes has 3 custom homes right now under construction.
That's correct.
What part of town are they being
Well,
built in?
they are in Mount Pleasant, and the others are on Daniel Island.
Okay. Just generally, how big a house or houses are we talking about?
Well, these homes are anywhere from 4,400 square feet and above.
Okay. All right. So decent size house. And are you seeing any particular trends that homeowners are asking for with their custom homes?
Not really. I mean, before, we started getting any business at all, custom work, you read about, some of the articles that were in magazines or in the paper that people wanted to cut back on the size of the houses.
Mm-hmm.
Well, by the size I just told you, we haven't seen that yet.
Sure.
But I'm sure there are a lot of them that are out there.
Right.
And it's amazing. People want what they want, and we want to try to give them what they want.
Right. People want elbow room.
That's exactly right. Maybe that's what it is.
They want some space. They don't want to be confined. They want to be able to a little getaway spot if they want, and everybody, mom and dad, they want their own space away from the kids and all that.
And the thing about it, the interesting thing about it's the houses that we're building right now are for two people that live there all the time. Now,
Sure.
they have kids, but they're grown kids that come
Right.
in and with grandkids.
Yeah.
And it's amazing how we will, be building a particular room. Oh, this is going to be such and such room, and we need to add this in here for toys.
Mm-hmm.
We need
Right.
to have a place for the toys when they come to visit us.
Yep.
And so I think that's one of the reasons that some of these homes are still as large as they are.
Right. If you build it, they will come.
That's basically a good saying.
Yep. Well, tell everybody how they can get in touch with J.D. Smith Custom Homes.
Well, you can call our main office. Our number is 881-8843, and we're located off of Long Point Road and off of La Mesa Street. And or you can check our website out, which is J.D. Smith Custom Homes, LLC.com. And feel free to give us a call. We'd be happy to meet with you at any point in time.
All right. Terrific. Well, we have been talking with Donnie Smith with J.D. Smith Custom Homes. Thanks, Donnie.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Christy Conway with Charleston Home and Design Magazine, and I'm here in this amazing backyard in Old Park, Mount Pleasant, with Chris Reese of Charleston Landscape. Chris, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Well, it's really fun to be here, I have to tell you, because finally the weather is turning, and I'm really getting to see what's going on with the yards now. We haven't been outside in so long. Tell me what about this yard is so special.
Well, for us, being able to do work in this neighborhood, Old Park neighborhood, but I guess the top of the list would be the design and how well it was designed and the impact that you see from the street. Not only the street, the sides of the house, the rear. So it's all well landscaped, heavy landscape.
And by heavy, what do you mean?
Everything's full. Everything is planted a little closer than usual. The landscape was intended to be, as it was completed, to be full, to be completely grown in, so to speak.
So the homeowners don't have to wait, is what you're saying?
Exactly. We call that immediate gratification.
I like that. So how many plants are actually on the property?
Anywhere from 1,500 to 2,000 plants, from a 4-inch pot to a 15 to 30 gallon plant to a ball and burlap 6-inch caliper live oak. So the ranges are great from one size to the other.
And is that typical? I mean, you said it was heavy. What's a normal yard?
Normal. The spacing would be a little further apart, to allow more grow in. But we brought in mature plant material to start with, so the grow in will be about the same. It's just the impact. A lot of people will plant smaller and allow it to grow in, and here we plant larger, already grown in. So the impact was immediate.
And you actually, Charleston Landscape put in hardscapes as well.
We do, yes. We did the hardscape and the lighting and the irrigation.
Well, okay. So what's the lighting like?
The lighting is an LED lighting system. It's more green lighting. Even though we're using low voltage lighting, it uses less power. The bulbs last around 40,000 hours. So it's just a better system all the way around.
LED, that's kind of like a new thing, right?
It is a new thing. Most people think of LED like a blue light, hue on the light, but technology has allowed them to move forward, and so now you can almost match the halogen color of lighting with the LED. So it's really the way to go in the future.
Yeah, it seems like the best of both worlds. It lasts a really long time, and it doesn't cost you a lot, and it has the good look.
Yeah, you get that effect. Yes, absolutely.
And I know we touched on hardscapes, but what types of hardscapes did Charleston Landscape do in this property?
On this property, we did the front walks. They're a brick made out of brick walkways made out of pine haul brick, and we did retaining walls in the front, the brick to match the house, and then we also did an outdoor living space in the back with a fire pit, so gas fire pit. So it all the way around, the project turned out really nice with all these different features.
And does Charleston Landscape sub out that work, or is it actually Charleston Landscape that does the hardscapes?
It's all done in-house. We have skilled laborers. I think we have some of the best when it comes to installation of the softscape and the hardscape. So I think we're heads above when it comes to that. We really take our time and try to get the project just exactly where it needs to be.
And I know we touched on design a little bit, but I wanted to ask for people watching this video, what do you suggest when someone wants to redo their backyard and they have no concept of what they want?
Yeah, a lot of people will call us and say, hey, I've got a few bushes to move and I want to plant a couple of azaleas and what have you. So we always encourage people, please, before you start, have a plan. And so we offer landscape architecture planning. We have a landscape architect on staff that can help with that. The best way to have success, whether you're building a home or building your landscape, is to have a plan.
And that landscape architect, does he work on every project, or is he only for specific projects? Or she? Could be a she.
No, it's a he, and he works on every project that's required. There may be some projects that come in that already have a plan, landscape plan, but usually the ones we do in-house, he does. So, and we have our own flavor as everybody else does. So, but we always listen. I think we're really good about listening to what the homeowner wants, and so that we can give them just what they're looking for.
And you guys have experience with that because you've been in business so long.
We've been in business in the Charleston area since 2006, and I have 40 years experience myself. So.
And what about the landscape architect? How much experience would you say he has?
Ray has somewhere in the area of 25 years.
So you guys know what you're doing.
Yes.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to talk about with this project that makes it special, or that kind of jumps out at you as something people should know about?
The only thing I could say is that the project itself was done very well by a local landscape architect in town who it's a very high-end, formal but loose look. We're excited about it. We're excited about how it turned out.
Okay. Well, if someone wants to contact you for their own backyard or front yard makeover, what's your website and what's your phone number?
Our website is www.charlestonlandscape.com, and our phone number is 843-296-7592.
Okay. And do you suggest they call you to have you come out to take a look at the property? Do you do an assessment and kind of tips?
They can contact us by phone or through the website, and we'll be more than happy to schedule an appointment and come out and visit them.
Awesome. Well, thank you. We've been speaking with Chris Reese of Charleston Landscape. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm talking about a home. Talking about me and you. The things we'll do. I said a home. I'm not talking about a one-night stand. I want to be your man. I said a home.
You've been listening to Talking About a home show on the radio. Talking About a Home is brought to you by the publishers of Charleston Home and Design magazine and the organizers of the Charleston Home and Design Show and the Custom Home and Remodel Show. To make contact with any of the companies featured today, visit newhomecharleston.com, Charleston's online home show, and home to over 200 local home-related companies motivated to work with you.